This is a podcast from the Business Times.
Good morning. It's Monday, July 27th, 2026. From the Business Times news desk, here are your headlines. What you need to know. U.S. and Iran pause strikes for a second consecutive day as a regional mediator calls it a positive signal as diplomacy resumes. MAS tightens monetary policy for the second consecutive time as Iran war inflation pressures persist. Oil tumbles 5% on de-escalation hopes. Asian markets rally. In Singapore, the Monetary Authority of Singapore has tightened monetary policy for the second consecutive time, increasing the rate of appreciation of the Singapore dollar's nominal effective exchange rate policy band. The MAS cited persistent inflationary pressure from higher oil and natural gas prices driven by the Iran war as the key reason for the move. In Singapore, Singapore's central bank has tightened its monetary policy stance for the second time in a row, allowing for a stronger currency in the face of the risk of relentless inflationary pressure from higher oil and natural gas prices due to the Iran war. The Monetary Authority of Singapore said today that it will increase the rate of appreciation of the Singapore dollar's trade-weighted value, also called the Singapore dollar nominal effective exchange rate policy band. In world news, both U.S. and Iranian forces have now held fire for 2 consecutive days. Neither side conducted strikes on Saturday or Sunday Singapore time, the first 2-day lull in the conflict in nearly 2 weeks. Iran's army spokesperson confirmed on state television that Tehran had suspended its own attacks in response to the U.S. pause. A regional official involved in mediation efforts told Reuters the mutual halt was a positive signal that helps de-escalation efforts, adding that both sides want to return to the interim ceasefire deal. A compromise under discussion centers on Iran managing Strait of Hormuz vessel transit with fewer restrictions, according to the same official. The 60-day window created by the June Memorandum of Understanding is now well into its second half, with major issues including Iran's nuclear program still unresolved. The Strait of Hormuz traffic remained low over the weekend, according to Kepler vessel tracking data. Separately, traffic through the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the Red Sea Gateway, also fell sharply, with just 11 commodity vessels transiting on Sunday, the lowest level in months, following Houthi attacks on Saudi oil installations along the Red Sea coast. In the region, Bank Indonesia Governor Perry Warjio has stepped down. President Prabowo Subianto has accepted the resignation and appointed Senior Deputy Governor Destri Damayanti as interim governor, the State Secretariat Minister confirmed today. Japanese Prime Minister Sanai Takaichi's cabinet approval rating has slumped to its lowest level since she took office last October, according to a Yomiuri newspaper poll released Sunday, driven by rising living costs and a yen at 4-decade lows. Japan's services producer price index rose 3.2% in June year-on-year. Central bank data showed this morning a sign of broadening inflation that keeps alive expectations of further interest rate hikes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced a task force headed by tech entrepreneur Nandan Nilekani to overhaul the country's examination system following days of youth protests over exam paper leaks. New legislation on the issue is expected to be introduced in Parliament today. In companies and markets, oil tumbled 5% this morning. Singapore time on de-escalation hopes. Brent crude fell to $91.89 a barrel, according to Reuters. Asian share markets rallied as easing inflation fears and falling oil prices lifted sentiment ahead of a packed week of central bank meetings and corporate earnings. And stocks we're watching include Ceatrium and Raffles Medical. For updates throughout your day, visit bt.sg. And don't forget to check in with our wrap podcast, Market Focus Daily, at 6 this evening.
This is a podcast by the Business Times. Find more BT podcasts at businesstimes.com.sg/podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts.